I don't want to talk a bunch of mess, but there used to be this appliance store in Austin where they would smoke cigars inside.
What are you talking about?
Inside
I've
their
been to that
store,
one.
they would smoke cigars, not just
Yep.
cigarettes.
Yep.
Like that is another level of I don't care. Crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. It's like, don't do that. It's like, come on, be professional about this. Carry yourself in a professional manner.
Yeah, just take pride in what you do. Make your environment prideful too. Hey, we're back for another episode of Appliance Fix and Flip. I'm here with Gabe and Derrick. What's going on, fellas?
What's up?
What is up? What is up?
So what's happening in the world of fixing and flipping, Gabe?
Whirlpool Duet front load washer dryer set. Older ones. Like what do you?
Yes,
what do
you said that you just had someone message right now, like while we were talking about that
Yep.
set.
Yep.
And I'm beating you up on the price. What do you have that washer dryer listed for?
It's an older Whirlpool Duet. Great working machine.
It's not
and
too
look
old
pretty-
though. It's not like the
No.
old like gray ones.
No, but I mean they're up there in age, and I was like, wow, okay, $400. I was like $400, which sounds low, but given the location where I'm at, it's like one of those things where before $500-600 was reasonable. Now as the way things are going in this area, $400, which sucks. It really sucks. Beautiful. Let's see there. Beautiful Whirlpool
You
Duet
know
set.
those, Derrick?
You see these, Derrick? What would you sell this Duet set for?
Those are the ones that still had the bottom panel, so you could actually get to the
Yep,
get
that's
to the
right.
pump.
The pump.
They got the bottom
the
panel.
filter.
Yep.
Yeah. I would. I think. Hell, I might have a set down there right now of those. I mean, they're tough. That's the thing. They're super tough.
They are tough.
I mean, the biggest problem with them are the dryer relays. I would. I would say $675 plus delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$600 would be a good number. It would be, but the issue is location, right? Location. So, for example, like if you get up on my marketplace or walk into a store around here, people are selling these for $450, $400, like between $400 and $500. So, if you try to go a little higher, it really sucks because that's where everyone's pricing them at, and it kind of ruins the whole game for everybody. It really does.
So do you think that's the general public selling it for $450, or are they people that are refurbishing the appliances?
Also, people that are refurbishing, unfortunately, where I'm at right now, and that's really hurting the whole game for a lot of us sellers in this area right now. It
Yeah,
really
those are the guys selling on Facebook that don't pay taxes and don't have any overhead.
exactly. Yep.
But here's the thing. This is what I did is I didn't pay attention to what anybody else was doing, and I created my own value. So I sell my appliances. Somebody walks in the door. I don't sell anything for less than $250. I'm talking about a top lint Whirlpool dryer.
Yep.
$250.
Yep.
And I mean, you have to, when people say something about the price, tell them, well, what do you want? You want a guy that you can go to Facebook and get it, and you don't know if it's going to work for a month, and you'll never be able to talk to him again. It's
Exactly.
just, you got to sell. I sell my name on my appliances, so it's,
Yeah.
I value it a little bit more.
Yep. And it's unfortunate too, because a few years back, that same set I'll show you guys would go for $600 easy. And
So-
I don't know.
So eventually you can sell anything for any price eventually, right? Like if I've got 100 years, I might sell that washer dryer set for $2,000, right?
Oh, yeah.
But the price affects the velocity. So like, what is this set? How long ago did you post that washer dryer set?
This set I posted a couple days ago, and it's kind of concerns me because at that $4 price range, you'd think it'd be gone within minutes, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. But that's not the case anymore. It's so weird.
It is.
Not the case.
Somebody's picking it up right now.
Yeah. Let me sorry about that. Let me sign as this.
Doesn't that alarm you that like if you post something and you sell it within minutes that you just sold it too cheap?
Yes. Now, before that was an issue too. Like, let's say the economy nice and strong, people coming in and out, people need sets, and you're selling within minutes. Yeah, your price too low. You are. But even at $400 now, they're not selling within minutes. Like even something like that's not selling within minutes. It's taking 2 days, maybe even 3 days.
That's like not that long, like 2
I
days.
know.
Yeah, and here's another thing, because I've picked this up from several other people, not just with appliances, with everything in general. Is that like my past 3 weeks have been, oh my god. Well, I'm saying if I even told you the numbers, you guys would probably laugh at me. And then today and yesterday I did quadruple what I've done in the past month and a half.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know why it just stopped. All of a sudden just stopped.
4th of July sales. So like 4th of July in that sales cycle starts to be the uptick. Like
Yeah.
really hard uptick of sales, at least for us.
Yeah.
Like today we did 290% more sales today than we did yesterday. And it's just been a gradual sell curve up.
Hey, but you know what, Derrick, I'm with you. This past week was super slow. And then the previous week was super awesome.
How do you guys play with your pricing? Like, how do you adjust your pricing to improve over time? Like, do you set it and forget it? Or do you have some sort of process that you do that?
I do have a process. You know what I do, Derrick? You know what I do, guys? Check this out. So a lot of guys will take off their listing and lower the price, right? I don't do that. I never do that. I actually increase the price. So if something didn't sell for $400, guess what? It's going back up for $440. And believe it or not, that's worked more than once for me. I actually start increasing the price, then it sells. It's crazy.
I mean, if you take the logic, right, and think about it for right now. Now put yourself in a position that, right, we're on the internet and we're looking on eBay to buy some relays, right?
Yep.
And you get on there and you find a 10-pack for $5.99, but then all the rest of them you saw were $7.99 a piece.
Yeah.
Are you going to buy that 10-pack? Probably not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you add value to stuff, because people think that if it's cheap, that it's bad, that has a bad correlation, right? It's bad quality.
Yeah.
So there's times when the price matters less than the thought, than the idea. So like, yeah, I got my buddy was telling me a story. I can't remember verbatim, but something about he had a boat that he put on Marketplace for free because he was trying to get rid of it, and it sat for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then he marked it up to $200. I deleted it, put it on for $200, and somebody came and bought it same day.
And he sold. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, same day. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
You know why I think things sell when you increase the price? Because you already had people saving it and viewing it, and now you took it down. They're disheartened. And they see it back up at a bigger price. They jump at it. They're like, okay, this guy is going up. Actually, I better jump. I better get it now because it's going up instead of down. And it's a psychological thing, but it actually works.
That's wild.
Wow.
Don't go down on your price because you start looking desperate. You start looking desperate, and people will see that and they're like, okay, this guy's going to go down anyways. He's going to go down within a few days and weeks. And a lot of guys make that mistake. They go down the price, you know?
I'm going to be honest. I don't put that much faith in people on Facebook. I think it seems like a no thought process for anything. They click on it. You put a 2-hour description writing down
they won't read it.
What's wrong with this? Why do you have it? Why are you selling it?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So no.
Yeah. I mean, so like we approach it a little bit differently. So we do we track all of our inventory, like the number of days in inventory. And we have a progressive price decrease once it hits 30 days. So if we have a product in stock that we've had for 30 days, that brings down the price. But then we also look at, so we have a spreadsheet, basically. Anyone can make it on Google Sheets. And we have categories of appliances and we group them by demand. So if we have a certain type of refrigerator, maybe that subcategory of refrigerator, like it's a top and bottom, it's stainless steel. We sell it no matter what, as fast as we get it, we sell it. We don't want to decrease the price as much because we'll know it's going to move really quick.
Oh yeah.
Same scenario in a white refrigerator. It still moves, but it's in a completely different demand category. And so we try and group things by like what their demand is and then apply the pricing appropriately. Same scenario in our market with a really high-end gas dryer is not going to move as fast, right? So we mark that one down to move quickly. but our goal is to get a 30-day turn on all of our inventory.
30 days.
Yeah, but we take our pricing into account. And then if we see repeatedly that this category or subcategory or this particular model of appliance continually is just not performing in that 30 days, then we'll adjust its base pricing down or up. We go up too, you know, oh, we sold out of these in 5 days. You know, we need to adjust the price up because we want it to hit around that 30-day mark.
I feel like I'm about to give away some secrets. I don't know if this is going to be aired or not, but
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
let me tell you what I do, right? For the 4th of July, this is going to be my sale. This is what and I do this every time I have a sale. So I go find everything in a store. I take all the price tags off and I put new price tags on it. And I mark everything up 30%. And then I go back through and I put a 40% sale on everything.
Dude, that's smart. That's brilliant. That's
I
brilliant.
swear to God, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Well, that's your compare price. I mean, that's, yeah, your compare price. Like
Yeah.
there was
This is the thing.
this
People,
amount.
yeah, people just want to feel like they have a deal. They got a deal. That's
Exactly.
it. I mean, period.
That's
Especially,
it.
and this is a very niche, realm. This isn't, it's not there's not a lot of used appliance stores, refurbished or scratch and dent, however it goes.
Yeah.
So you got to make up your own thing. Yeah. It's not, I don't know if there's anybody that you can even say, oh yeah, this is tried and true. This is what you should do. So it's kind of,
No, but that's smart. That's smart because they're only getting at 10% off. They're getting at 10% off at the end of the day. It's smart because it's marketing gimmicks, but they work. They do work.
I mean, where you think I made that up? I learned that from Walton, not Walton Goggins.
Oh yeah.
Samuel.
Well, if you follow any of those big box stores, so we track all of our pricing for our scratch and dent stuff is directly correlated to the big box store price. So on a weekly basis, if I have XXY model number, our price is dependent on that demand rank that I just told you about and the condition of the actual appliance. We grade them scratch and dent, minor, moderate, major, and then we have open box, which means there's no cosmetic damage at all. And then we sell new ones too. But so all of those are tied to a percentage off of the big box store. And then we audit the big box store. We have a list of every model that we have in stock, and we'll go and shop our local market because the price at big box store here is going to be different where you are, Derrick.
Right.
So we audit all those models, their current price. So as the big box store goes like this throughout the year, we're just trailing right underneath it.
Yeah.
And it always keeps us, lower than them. So that means whenever the big box stores go on sale, we also are on sale by default because our prices are just fixed right underneath them. Right. And then we'll do an additional discount if we're not moving, the appropriate amount. But what that means for us is we're following the sales cycles that the big box stores do. So whenever we see they're on sale, we go on sale. So we track their sales cycles, and we got it down to a T. We know exactly when they're going to start. So going back and looking at the historical data is pretty radical because you'll see their prices go up, 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 up. And then here comes the sale. Boom. And then it drops and then it goes up, 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 up. And it just does this throughout the whole year.
So do you track like an API key or something, or how do you stay up to date?
We had one and it didn't work really well. So we manually do it.
Old school.
We shop multiple big box stores because you'll see some of their sales cycles will start at different times. Maybe a day or two off, but they're all pretty close to each other.
You know the pattern, right? You know the pattern?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Well, I mean, so all new appliance sales, they follow MAP pricing, minimum advertisable price. And they send out to all the dealers, like, here's the promotional period. Here's what you can sell it for. And the big box store is just like right at the bottom, like the lowest amount that they're allowed to advertise it for. They're going to do that. So it does travel in cycles like that. But anyways, like what I was trying to get to is like, if you have some sort of feedback loop to where like you're looking at the time that something's listed or advertised for and try and figure out why is this selling too fast or why is this selling too slow, and just play with it like a science experiment to see if you can adjust the levers to go up and down on price, but you can't improve anything unless you're tracking it. And so tracking it is step one. And then once you can see like the historical data off of it, then you can make improvements if you want to. Some people, they just, whatever. Oh, it's sold. Cool. Hell yeah. Good enough.
That's me.
I can tell you.
It's sold. Ooh, let's go get more inventory.
I can tell you one bit of historical data that I have tracked, and it is tried, true, blue and through. Is if you have a front load, washer and dryer set on pedestals, and it's red.
Oh yeah.
The demographics for that particular set are very specific.
Derrick, let me tell you this. Okay, where I'm at, right? So my prices are low. They suck. We all know that already. They're horrible, right?
I don't mean they suck. I just
It's
not what I was saying.
It's bad. It's the prices stuck here.
Could be better. But.
Speaking of which, if I had a set like you guys were talking about right now, Electrolux at $900, they would be gone in a day or two, even here.
So let's just dissect that. Why?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Why? Okay, that's exactly what I was getting ready to say.
Even here,
so
they'd be gone.
So now, okay, so let's get to this. So
I don't like.
Now, what's the difference between that Whirlpool Duet set that we were just looking at and the Electrolux set that we're talking about now?
I know why. You're going after a clientele that has deeper pockets, more coin.
No, not even necessarily.
Yeah.
It just matters because direct drives. You know why? You want to know the real reason why I'm done with direct drives? Is because, well, for one, most of them are ugly now, and they're old. People say they want old school. They don't want the old school look though. They want stuff that looks new, stuff that's cool, that's got digital stuff on it. And
most,
right? Which is your sales.
They don't want 20 years of rust built up in them.
And that Duet set there is, I mean, the only reason I would sell them now is just something that we had and we fixed it.
Yeah,
and
it's money.
Got it for free. Yeah, but that's so the biggest deal now is that you need to be more specific on what you pick. You got to be real choosy. Don't pick the old the old Ford F-250 pre-turbo diesel.
The IDI.
Yeah, the IDI. Yeah.
So I'd push back on that a little bit. So like if you have an opportunity at a fixed amount of customers, like if you have 5 customers that walk through your door, and you give them the option to buy something super cheap. Like we talked about this on Behind the Bargains with EJ. He had a $200 dryer over there. And I was like, dude, you're going to sell it, but you're going to lose the opportunity to sell something else. Yeah. And I was like, what you should do is you should mark it up to $350, and then that will make your other things look better.
And they'll walk past that. They'll walk past that and look at the other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So if I have 5 customers that walk through the door, and it's different whenever you're listing stuff like you do, Gabe, but if I have 5 customers that walk through the door and they're just looking for the cheapest thing, don't lose that opportunity on something that, that's why we ignore a lot of products. Like we do refurbish still, but we're very specific on what we carry. We don't carry all the stuff for that reason in particular.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Yep. And I want to bring this up. How about this? Do you guys believe location has a lot to do with your sales and what you can sell things for? Location. Like if you're in a bad area, obviously it's going to hurt you, right?
No. It just depends on what you offer on your services. Do you deliver? Can you get, can you get in front of, it's just a matter of who you can get in front of. I live, my shop, well, anyway, there's most of my clientele are not from, where my immediate area. A lot of them come from Centerville, Springboro. See, the thing about here's the thing is poor people want to spend money they don't have. Rich people want to spend money, only want to spend what they have to.
They want to hang on to it. They want to hang on to what they have.
Right. Yep. So these younger couples come in here and say, we're just going to go to Home Depot and get something brand new for no reason. It'll probably work for half the amount of time as something that we would buy from you would. Whereas, guy come down from Centerville, lives in a $1.6 million house. I mean, this is literally buys a used Samsung washer and dryer stack washer and dryer from me.
Yep.
And it's a matter of it's just that there's so much to it. It's like, I
they
think
understand that they understand the value, right? They understand the value in it.
yeah,
Right. You're saying to people.
I think it's a two different worlds, because I remember the marketplace world, and I had 5 or 6 storage units all filled up with appliances. And, the difference is somebody can't walk in the door and you can't trap them into the, I put all my crappy stuff up front. So people would make their way, to the back and the expensive stuff. And they're, well, this $900 range, you take 200 off. I'm like, well, you passed up that section back there a little bit back that way, buddy.
Yeah. At the big box stores, they call that top down selling. So you have all your fancy stuff up front, and they see the nice stuff, and then they progressively work their way down. I don't think like you can trick consumers anymore, though. Like I don't think you can.
I don't necessarily see it like to trick them, but my thing is, because they might, the thing is, if they're only, and my store is not that big, but I've had plenty of times where somebody finds something, they get stuck on it. So, then they haven't had a chance to, really look on everything else, because they saw that, and that's what they're going for. That's it. Whether it's because it's the cheapest or because it's the shiniest, that might not even be for them.
Yeah, but they still see it like in the loop, and like, so like when I've heard all the psychology behind like these big box stores and why they put things in certain places, and I'm just like, dude, like, how does that still work? Like, people walk into a big box store and they're enticed by this thing because of its position and their like the order in which they saw it. Like,
I can tell you today that Harbor Freight got me. So I was on
the icon.
Yeah, I was on my way out the door, and I was on my way up to the cash register, and I was like, oh, well, I don't really need 25 packs of zip ties, but since it's here,
but I need them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Like the POP, like right at the checkout, like it's right there. And grab it, quick stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens to me with the candy bars at the grocery store. I'm like, oh
yeah,
perfect.
Yeah.
How'd you guys know I wanted that? You son of a...
It's probably more expensive right there than it is back in the aisle at the back.
It is. It really
mark
is.
it up. They mark it up 20%.
Convenience.
But no, I think you're right. I think you're right, Scott. I mean, you can't trick people these days, especially not in this economy.
No.
Yeah. I feel like the people that we interact with at our store now, they come in with some level of research already done.
Yes.
Versus 10, 15 years ago, people were just like, tell me about
whatever.
it. Yeah. They're like, I'm here to shop. But now people, they know stuff. They're educated before they come in, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you can educate them and you can walk them through that.
Yeah. I was going to ask you guys, what's your style for selling, like a storefront? What's your style? Do you hound the customer? Do you approach them, greet yourself, or what's the style that in your store, Derrick, for example? What's your style when someone walks in? Do you leave them alone, let them watch stuff, let them check things out, or do you approach them, start talking to them right away? What do you do?
Yeah, so the first thing I do whenever somebody walks in my store is, no matter what, I immediately greet them before they can even walk past the first appliance.
Okay.
It's just about making it feel personable. I've got an ugly store, so it doesn't look comfortable like home, so I got to make them feel comfortable. And it's really building a relationship. I don't hound anybody, and I always offer to help somebody either find something, whether I have it or not. And genuinely, I would rather somebody find something that they need that suffices their needs rather than just to make a sale. I mean, it doesn't make me a lot of money, but they a lot of times, then they understand they can trust me that, I'm not just trying to take $1, and it really establishes a good relationship. I'm sure I learned all that from Scott too.
So what is like a eye contact?
So like, right out of the gate, you're greeting them, you're presenting, you're showing them where the thing is that they're looking for.
Well, so first it's a hey, how you doing? Just welcome to our appliances. If you need anything, let us know. What brings you in today? So, just get a general idea, because that way, if they're looking for refrigerators, I don't want to lead them over to, front load washing machine. But, just kind of get a general idea what they're looking for. If it's a couple, I tend to leave them alone, and, just a general, greeting, let them know we're paying attention. If you need anything, come holler at us. When it's just one person, like a solo person, I like to stay a little more interactive. just because, you know, when you have a couple, it's a lot of times it's a, you know, a couple, they're shopping.
They're talking with each other.
They want to talk,
be
and they don't want to be interrupted. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I don't want to be overbearing and rude, but, you know, I generally, I mean, my personality, I don't know. It's just, I'm just the guy that talks too much. And then I overeducate anybody that walks through the door.
Yeah, it's good.
Hey, me too. I talk a lot. Trust me. I'm a talker. I am.
It builds the
Really am.
loyalty. That's what you want. You want to be able to give them a ton of information.
Yeah.
And then walk away and be like, oh yeah, that was awesome.
And I tell you, you know, let me tell you the biggest thing that I promise, and you'll lose some money, but you'll gain business. I promise. Is I remember one week I had like 3 people back-to-back days come in, and they were coming in to buy a new dryer. And I said, well, what's the dryer doing that you have at home? And I showed them the dryers. And I said, but what's going on with your dryer at home? And they're like, yeah, it just quit working. And I was like, well, I said, I really don't want to do this, but I can probably tell you how to fix it with $15 and a 1/4-inch screwdriver if you're And then they'll come back. But see, the thing is, all 3 of those people, I can guarantee you, I remember at least one of them came back and bought a washer, you know, whenever a month or 2 later, or however long it was. You're going to build business, because the thing is, when you can build a rapport, everybody wants to shop local. Everybody wants to support a small business, but everybody wants to think they're being taken care of. Well, I mean, they want to know they're being taken care of, and they want to think they're getting a deal. So if you can supply those things, I mean, you really don't have anything to worry about. So when my bank account says, and I'm like, you know, I don't really stress out about it.
You're like, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There's so like I've got like a couple points on like how we approach the sales. So old Scott 10, 15 years ago, selling out of the garage. 'Cause that's kind of what this channel is about, is like that fix and flipper from home. Personable experience. Like the garage that I was selling out of was spotless. I mean, there wasn't a tool out of place. There wasn't grease anywhere. Like it wasn't dirty. Like it would be spotless to where they're walking in there, because that's your presentation, right?
That's
like,
your legitimacy.
But like that garage was always spotless. So like taking that same concept before you even talk to someone when they walk in, that has to be the same thing if you do a storefront. If someone walks in your store, they have to have that same experience from the curb. They're not even in your parking lot yet. They have to have that feeling of like, oh yeah, like this place is.
All right, I'm cool with this. Yeah. I don't have to worry about getting robbed when I get out, or
nice clean paint. I mean the landscaping.
Yeah, even if they're not clean, it's because I can tell you now that I've been surprised by people. But it's the fact that it's how you present it. It doesn't even matter what their lifestyle. You might deliver the dryer, and they talk about how clean your garage is. It happens to be that your garage is cleaner than their entire house.
Right. Well, I mean, we've all been to a store where it's just in shambles. Maybe the lighting is weird and it's too dark. Yeah. Maybe it smells weird just being in there. I remember at our old store, so we're opening up a new store right now that's a lot bigger, but our old store, we had a rat that died in the roof. Like, so we had like the rat poison out, and it ate it, and then it crawled inside of the roof, and it died, and we couldn't get into it. And I tore the entire roof down because of how bad it smelled. And like, because the customer would walk in and they'd just be hit by that wave, and they're just like, something's horribly wrong in this place.
And they think it's a washer. They think it's a washer and dryer. It smells horrible. They think Yep.
So like the look of it, like tidy, neat, clean, but then also the smell is super important. We've got air fresheners at the entry of our store.
Ionizer, all of this stuff. Yep.
All that. It's setting an experience for that customer before you even talk to them. That is your silent salesperson. So now they come into our store. So at the very entrance of our store, our goal is to explain what we do. So like every single person that comes into our store, we have like tables set up within 20 feet of our store. So it's unavoidable that everyone gets a hello, like right whenever they walk in. Yep. And then we want, at the entrance of the store, we want to explain what we do. We sell new in box, open box, scratch and dent. And we don't really focus on the refurbished stuff. We do have that in another part of our store, but we just described that. So they understand where am I? Like, what is the things that I'm looking at? And then from that point, we have an education piece. So if they come in and they understand what they do, already, like most people, when they walk in, they're just like, oh, sales guy, get away, get away, get away.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and to overcome that, you have to have an education piece. You have to start developing a relationship that has nothing to do with sales. So like if we get that customer in and they go, okay, you guys sell scratch and dent, I get it. And then we go, you know, well, what project are you working on? Or what are you trying to accomplish? Oh, I'm just shopping for fridges, or, oh, I'm just shopping for washers. I'll give you a little snippet. So washing machines. So if someone's shopping for a washer, what we say is, okay, that's cool. Let me just give you a little bit of information that will help you narrow down what washer to look for. And then I'm going to get out of the way. I'll leave you alone and you can go about and shop by yourself. So I kind of laid down that barrier a little bit, but they're still just like, salesperson, go away. So now comes the education piece. In every category, we have something like this for, but the washers is really cool. I think it's our best one. So this is word for word what I say when a customer comes in for washers. So when you're shopping for a washer dryer, focus on the washer. Dryers heat up, they blow hot air. You know, there's not many differences going on here. So let's just focus on the washer. So, with washers, there's 3 different types of washers, generally speaking. You have a front load washer. You have a top load washer with an agitator. And I go like this, with that little center agitator in the middle. And then we have a impeller washer, which is like that flat wash plate in there. And one's not better than the other. But let me just explain how each one of them works. So a washing machine, what actually cleans your clothes is friction. Your clothes rubbing against each other. And all these hand signs, all my salespeople should be doing. But your clothes rubbing against each other is what causes them to clean the friction. So each one of these washers cause that friction in different ways. So your top load washer with an agitator, and again, do it hand signs. So the way that it works is it uses a little bit more water, generally speaking, and your clothes float up and the agitator catches the ones on the top and pulls those down to the bottom. And that pulling motion is what drags your clothes across each other to clean them. So the good part is that it doesn't matter if there's 5 shirts in here or 100 shirts in here, you're going to get a pretty consistent clean. The downside is, and that we're always giving downsides. So like people feel like we're just giving them information because we are. We're not trying to push them to buy this thing yet. So the downside is they're usually a little bit smaller because they have an agitator in the middle. So then we have our impeller washers, which is, if you notice, and we open it up and we say there's no agitator in there. It's just a flat wash plate. So these used by using the weight of the clothes to push down against that wash plate to cause that friction. So the more clothes you put in there, to an extent, the more weight pushing down, the more friction on the bottom, the better they're going to clean. Vice versa. If I just put one shirt in there, it's just going to float around. There's no friction between clothes to wash. They're not going to wash as well. And so these will wash. The more clothes you put in there, to an extent, the better they wash. Front loaders are the exact opposite. So everyone that I know has washed a comforter inside of a front load washer, and the inside of that comforter is dry. And you're going, that didn't work. Well, it's because front loaders aren't made for big, bulky loads of clothes like that. They have to toss and tumble in there to cause that friction. And if you overfill the washer, there's no friction happening. So front loaders will wash, and I'll like kind of summarize it. Front loaders wash better the smaller the load. Impeller washers wash the bigger the load. And agitators are any size load, but they're usually a little bit smaller because they have the agitator. Now, there is outliers in all the things that I just described. Like there's an agitator out there that doesn't apply to, an impeller that doesn't apply to, but it kind of just summarizes it to where they're like, okay, I understand enough to where I can go shopping now without.
Let me go pick.
Yeah, exactly. And so
you can
what
do
ends up
that.
happening is they go into the store and then they turn around and they go, "Hey, Scott, I got a question." And I'm like, "Yes, exactly."
Yeah.
And now I'm like their information guy.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I got a sales tag on there and I can read off the features. I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to tell you the features about it. And there's no sales pushy stuff happening. Like our sales experience, we're trying to educate first before we get right into the sales. Cause I feel like we turn off a lot of people whenever we,
and you build that relationship. So
Yeah.
now you're a real person to them. You're not a salesman.
which is what sales should be. It should be like educational. Like it shouldn't just be go buy this thing because I say so. Like that's like 1990s used car salesman stuff. Like
I mean, and anybody can get on the internet and do their due diligence, but when you have somebody, when you come to a place like, you know, one of our places, and if the guy that you talk to can't tell you more than you know, you need to leave. Immediately leave. Yeah.
And that's got to be kind of like taxing at the very beginning. Whenever you first start like fixing and flipping, you're going to think like, oh man, like these customers, they may know more than I do. And I'll tell you, like within about 2 months of doing this at the very beginning, I never met a customer that knew more about me on an appliance. And I don't say that to be cocky. I just mean like you're so hands-on these products, you have information to give people. If you can put it together in nice clean sentences and serve it up, like you'd be surprised like how much value that actually adds to your customer. You know, how does a washer work? How does a dryer work?
Don't ever get caught telling bullshit that ain't true.
Yeah.
True. They'll remember.
Or don't do it.
Yeah, don't fake it.
I was gonna ask
You don't have
something.
to.
Have you guys ever walked into a competitor's store or just random place? Let's say you're on vacation. You walk into a used appliance store dealer, and you see how they conduct business. Someone's overbearing, following you down every aisle, trying to push sales on you, and then somewhere like you talked about, Scott, that hello, you need any help, and educate you,
Yeah.
So I've walked into super dirty stores, super disorganized, smells like fresh paint, smells like dirty washers, all that stuff, right? There's different scenarios. And no one's perfect. I used to have a shop here in Killeen, and I wasn't open to the public, but I would try to keep it neat and clean, but it did smell like painted washers and some dirty washers. It did. It just that's the way it was.
There used to be this. I don't want to talk a bunch of mess, but there used to be this appliance store in Austin where they would smoke cigars inside.
I know what you're talking about. I've been into that.
Inside their store, they would smoke cigars, not just cigarettes.
Yep.
Like that is another level of I don't care. Crazy.
That's crazy. It's like don't do that. Don't do that. Or you walk in with your wife and they're kind of hitting on your wife or kind of looking at her a certain way. It's like, come on, be professional about this. Carry yourself in a professional manner.
Yeah, just take pride in what you do. Make your environment prideful too. Like it's crazy you even have to say that. And they're out of business. The one that I was talking about, surprisingly, who would have thought that you couldn't be smoking cigars inside of an appliance store?
What is this, 1974?
Yeah. It's wild. Wild.
Yeah.
I can't even believe people still smoke inside their houses, but
it's
none of my business.
So what did you say that one time the paint color of that washer was marble yellow?
Yeah, emphysema yellow.
Emphysema yellow.
Yeah, we get refrigerators all the time that's got emphysema.
Yeah, but on secret shopping, I mean, so I'll do it to an extent. I mean, most of these people know me now, so like it's kind of weird if you did it now. But I used to do it back in the day. I'd go and walk into the competition. I mean, if you're a fix and flipper at home, like I don't advise you like answering someone's Facebook message and then going out to their where they're flipping appliances and checking out their garage. That'd be kind of weird. But
why not? Out of curiosity, why not? Out of curiosity, see what the competition is doing and see how they conduct themselves. Just out of curiosity, why not? Just do it. I've done it.
I wouldn't have a problem with other people coming into our stores. I mean,
no.
And even back in the day, doing it from home, I wouldn't have an issue with someone else selling on Craigslist at that time. You know, someone coming and checking out what I do because I ran a tight ship. Like it wasn't like I had to protect anything.
No, exactly. It's like let them come check it out, and I'm pretty.
Yeah.
You know, something that really, I mean, I understand it, I guess, whatever situation you have, but anytime I see stores and they say, we do not deliver, you can make, how do you make money? I don't understand. Like, that's crazy. You got, obviously you'd have to live in like a rural part somewhere where everybody's got a pickup truck.
Everybody's got a truck.
Yeah, because this is the thing. If something leaves out of my store if it's not sitting on its feet the way it's intended, when it leaves my store, the warranty is void, period, point blank, no questions, no ifs.
Yeah, you don't know how it was handled or transported or even hooked up.
Right.
Like in a lot of instances, we go to deliver a dryer, they're replacing a dryer and they have bad outlet or they have bad ventilation or
So it's coming right back.
It's coming back and now it's a warranty.
It's a message.
And here's the thing. And even if it's not a warranty, then right, they bring it back. And I had the guy bring it back 3 times. He wouldn't let me deliver it. He wanted to do it himself. I was like, man, you gotta let me just come out there. There's probably something wrong with your outlet. No, it's not just a stupid dryer. You sell shit. Blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And so it's almost, I mean, in my opinion, it's worth it because this is the thing. People, if they see a washer leaking, that's it. Just the washer's leaking. There's no, it's your fault. Whether it's they cross-threaded the stainless steel angled neck hoses that they had to go buy from Lowe's for $75 instead of getting your delivery. Yeah.
So do you guys, whenever you sell a washer, whether like for us scratching in or refurbished or whatever, do you guys connect the drain hose and do you sell it with the drain hose attached?
Oh yeah, I do.
Do you do it?
On a pickup? Or no matter what.
On anything, yeah.
I mean, I take all my any kind of hoses off to start with, but I always we take the drain hose off when it's sitting in the store. No matter what, I like to anything that I can hook up myself. Like that's why no matter what, even if people say, "Oh, I know how to change the cord," I say, "Well, just take a picture of it. Tell me what you got, or you can text me, whatever, and I'll put the cord on for you." And I put brand new cords, brand new hoses on every single appliance I sell. I really got that from Sears. I think that just got beat in my head. And because this is the thing is, if it's something that is done correct, that's just one less variable to go bad. So it's just things you can count out that you can count on being okay. So I hook up every single drain hose, no matter what. But I try not to let anything walk out. I try to stay on the deliveries.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this, Derrick. So let's say someone insists on picking up a washer. Now the drain hose is attached to your washer. Do you make sure it's not dangling on the ground? Do you make sure it's attached somehow to the backside of the washer, the drain hose?
Actually, I can't. I don't really know. It's been a while. I haven't really sold anything lately. Everybody else I stay down here in the office. And do service calls. So but whenever I would sell, I would usually whenever I would sell them, if I help somebody pick it up and put it in the back of the truck, I take the plug and I plug it into the outlet in the back of on the back of the washing machine.
Yep.
That little outlet you can plug it into.
Yeah, the cutouts.
Yeah, the little cutouts. And then, yes. So we zip tie the hose right where the cord comes out of the panel, like where it's connected. We zip tie the hose to it. That way it's there, and then plug the cord in. That way, nothing's dragging.
Yeah,
it's stepped on.
They're going to damage it. They'll damage it. And what else do you tell the customer? Do you tell them not to be grabbing the whole control panel? Because a lot of guys like to move the washer around by the control panel, and they'll end up breaking clips and destroying things.
As long as it's not a Maytag Ultimate Care. Yeah. The ones with
old schools,
little
with the
angle brackets on the sides that break every time you look at them.
You break one, now you gotta make a decision.
Oh yeah. That's my number one complaint with customers picking things up. They like to break things because they're too rough with them. So I explained to them, grab the cabinet of the machine, don't grab the control panel and wrestle around with it. If you're gonna break something, and then you'll be messaging me wanting your money back or a different washer, that's not going to happen.
You know, my favorite thing to do is to load up a washer by myself in the back of someone's truck, and they're just like, oh, "How did you do that? You must be the strongest person alive."
Yeah.
So how do you guys do that? Do you like put it in your lap? You know what I'm talking about? You kind of squat down a little bit.
Squat and then lean.
Yeah, it's so easy, but every time I do it in front of a customer, they're just like,
Why do you take a top mount Frigidaire out of the back of a pickup truck with a dolly from the
lean it
ground
down
and
onto
then
it.
slides down? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I need to
The
do
tall
that video.
dolly, the dolly with the big wheels on it, not a refrigerator dolly. It's
The
just
Bigfoot
a
dolly
little
house.
bit too short. Yeah. Last question. We're running out of time here, but
Yeah.
what's the first appliance that you sold? Do you remember it?
Oh, do I? No. But I get, you know what? Damn, that's a good question because I really want to know that. Let me get my Rolodex.
Gabe, do you remember yours?
I'm almost certain it was a washer dryer set when wife had the thrift shop. I'm almost certain it was a washer dryer set.
How much? How much was it for?
I don't know, probably like $300. You know,
Oh, yeah.
$300.
Yeah.
And it sold quickly, and I said to myself, this is a thing. You know?
Yeah. Easy peasy. You don't remember?
You know
Derrick?
what? Yeah, I thought of it. You know, the first set I ever sold when I was still working for Sears, and it was a working Holloway set that we got from from a house that we delivered a brand new set to. I listed it on Marketplace, and before the end of the day, we delivered it to a customer before we even went back to the dock. And I remember it was $200 or $250, but it was that 4-second sale. You know,
Yeah.
sold before I
The
could
metrics to up the sales price.
Yeah.
But you were
What about you? You remember your first sale, Scott?
Yeah, it was a apartment refrigerator, 16 cubic feet, no ice maker. It was the fridge with the ice tray, the shelf in the freezer that's like, you know, like that.
a little-
it's built for the ice tray.
Yes, and the
guess how
refrigerator, they don't make a shelf for that refrigerator. It's just a little
really?
thing. It's just a little thing shelf that you put in there, a little table.
Guess
Anyway,
how much I sold it for?
$50.
$100.
$50.
50?
$50. I was crushing it. Well, cool. Well, we're running out of time, guys. This has been a fun one. And if you guys are watching this and you like what we do and you like fixing and flipping appliances, you can be anybody. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be in the industry, or you just want to learn something. Give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow, and go hop in the appliance refurbish and repair group. You'll see Gabe in there posting almost daily. And Derrick's in there every now and then, but he's in there.
I feel like people don't like me that much, so I try to stay. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna listen. You know what? I'm gonna post a video in there just to show you and why, and just
There you go.
read the comments.
There you go.
But anyway, yeah. So, anybody out there watching this, I'm telling you, this stuff is invaluable. If you have, I'm gonna pretty much guarantee you have at least one appliance in your house, and if something happens to it, you might as well come hang out. We can teach you how to fix it, and we don't charge you nothing.
Mm-hmm. And you can start flipping. So
And start flipping.
learn from these two pros. Cool.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, appreciate it, guys, and give us a like and share and a follow if you like what we do, and we'll see you on the next one.
Later, Gators.